guys, welcome back to the TheKunalCall. I'm Kunal Bhatia, and I have with me Cruising Cravings, who's also known as Conan.
Connect.
Conan, and it's a very unique name, I have to say, by the way. And thank you
Yeah.
so much for joining in. We have discussed this for such a long time. You are busy, I am busy, and we finally made it happen. Thank you so much for being here. It's a great honor, honestly.
Thank you so much, Kunal. It's an absolute pleasure being here as well. And to begin with, yes, you have closely managed to pronounce my name pretty right, because I think I spent all my life just correcting people like it's Conan. Like I get that a lot, so I take no offense, nothing. So yeah, but yeah, I have been really looking forward to this call as well, and I'm so glad to be here. Really.
Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much for taking our time because we keep seeing your Insta stories. You're very busy woman. You keep doing so much stuff. So I want to get straight to it. What made you start your journey? Like, how did you start in the first place?
So, what made me really start my journey? Okay, going back to a couple of years ago, I have actually been that kind of a person, always like, who's always loved exploring, who's always loved eating and going places and, being the guide for everything. Like, I love, just waiting eagerly and letting my people know that oh, do you know about this place, do you know about that place, so on and so forth. So it just went on. I think it was just always a part of me. But I think when everyone was busy making babies and getting married during COVID, I made my own my blog. So I think it was always in me. Like I always wanted to do something for myself. I always wanted to be like this entrepreneur thing in me, which was always there, and I just wanted to do something. And I think I remember having so many nights where I would just sit and brainstorm and write, like, what do I really want to do, what do I want to do. And then I'm like, I actually didn't think that, okay, let me, like, it wasn't like an overnight thought, like, oh, let me open a blog. I was just like, okay, I have these pictures which I used to anyways keep posting. I used to keep clicking. And because I was staying alone during the whole COVID situation, so I would often go out, I would often order in, and I was all by myself, like no home food, nothing. So I just knew a lot of places around, and I kind of like mix match the whole two scenarios. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I have this whole thing, like this blog, I mean, the images and everything, and I have the knowledge, and I want to do something for myself, and I want to build something. I want to be like an entrepreneur. And I mixed my passion and my vision, and there it came, my blog, Cruising Craving. So, yeah, I think that's what really made me start my journey.
It's pretty interesting to hear that you started during COVID. Did you see anyone in particular? Did you follow any page on Instagram that made you go like, "Oh, I can do that"?
Well, I would say that I used to not really follow bloggers because I was in India during that time,
Mm,
and I was not really exposed to the whole. So I was in India before COVID hit
okay.
for 2 years, and then COVID happens. I mean, for 1 year, and then COVID happened, and I got stuck for 2 years. So I was like detached from the whole Dubai world for a very long time, and I think that um I don't think I was really following anyone. I was just,
Okay.
I think it just came very organically in me. But yes, I did have inspirations when the seed got planted in my head. Yes, I did take inspiration from really well established bloggers who are currently very big in the Dubai industry. I mean, Dubai bloggers industry. So yeah, there were a couple of them, but I think I kind of like built my own journey,
Yeah.
because I also knew that if I start comparing myself or having a certain person as the ultimate, what do you call, like a role model or something, I
Yeah,
would
inspiration. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of gets a little more pressurizing, I think. But yeah,
So wait, during COVID you were in India in 2020,
yeah.
and you have
20
started doing that, and you were stuck there till what time? Like till the end of 2020?
Almost, yeah. I honestly just started my page, and I just created my page, and I did not even
Yeah,
have a name for it. So I just like created, I started just posting whatever I had in my gallery, and I was just sending a follow request to people I already knew from my private account, and everyone started messaging me like, dude, I think someone's catfishing you, like someone's creating fake profiles with your name. And I'm like, no guys, it's me, I'm attempting something, so just stay
yeah.
tuned. And yeah, but honestly, like when I really came back to Dubai in January 2021 last year, that is, I think, when my blogging journey actually started in Dubai.
So what you mean to say is, in within 1 year, you have grown to 24,000 followers on Instagram. That is
Yeah.
massive, Touchwood. That is massive. You keep going. You're doing a great job. But I want to ask you regarding the difficulties that you faced when you started. What were the things that you were not aware of then that you're aware of now?
Okay. So, of course, the number one thing is the market itself, the
Hmm.
competitors, or I wouldn't call them competitors, honestly, or just like fellow bloggers. And I think that's something that is changed drastically. Secondly, okay, let's begin with the difficulties that I faced.
Yeah.
Uh, there were a lot of difficulties because back then, especially in Dubai, the main challenge was that there were no reels. So your organic growth was based all on your posts and
Yeah.
your stories and your videos. And Instagram algorithm was completely, like, it was changing all the time, and it was very difficult to understand what's working and what's not. And being a very new blogger, or a content creator, it's very difficult to understand what's working and what's not working,
Yeah.
because you're not exposed to many people initially, right? So I think those kind of difficulties were trying to understand that what exactly is the algorithm. Secondly, what kind of audience am I getting? Yes, I'm on 500 followers, I'm on 1,000 followers, but it's a very small number to assess or understand what is it that your followers are really liking. There is, every influencer, every content creator has this one thing that they follow that has worked out for them. And when you figure that out, it literally gets easy. It literally
Yeah.
gets easy. Not very easy, but it definitely opens up a lot of space for you. So I think that was my major challenge that I faced. Plus the uh, constant need to kind of make myself believe that just be patient, like you're just
Yeah.
new, it's okay, it's like, I mean, you don't really know what's the milestone, right? Maybe is 10K a milestone? Is getting your first review on barter a milestone? Is hitting 5K a milestone? You don't have milestone even till now. Like, you make your milestones along the way, right?
Correct.
So these kind of things where you don't have a proper um like, what is the ultimate road to success for that, for my blog. So
Hmm.
identifying that kind of was a bit difficult. So yeah, I think that, and just remembering that, you know what, Conan, you're here maybe 1,000 followers today because you're doing your best, but 1 year from now you're not going to be 1,000. I mean, if you're putting in the same dedication and effort and consistency, you're definitely not going to be 1,000 1 year from now, or even 1 month from now. Chalo, 1 month is still, like, but still, at least 1 year from now, you're not going to be there, at
Correct.
the same place. So yeah, those were the kind of difficulties that I uh, you know faced.
And the next question I want to ask you is, what does food and travel mean in your life? Like, I know you haven't traveled obviously because of COVID outside, but you keep
Yeah.
traveling to Umal Queen and Russell Khema, and these kind of places where you go to hotels and you
Yeah.
review them and stuff. So what does it mean, like food and travel? I know you told you used to do it before you started your journey, but what does it mean to your life in general?
So I think even before my blog came into existence, even before Cruising Cravings happened, uh, food and travel were something that really shaped me. The choices I made in terms of what I would eat or where I would go. Funny story, I was stuck in India because I was traveling to India, and
Oh,
I just went to Mumbai, and I went there and I was like I went there to meet my friend for 10 days, and then I returned back home and I told my parents like I want to move to Mumbai, and they're like, you grew up in Dubai, you can't just move to Mumbai. I'm like, no, trust me, I have a very good feeling about this, I want to do it. And I stepped out of my comfort zone and I went to Mumbai. I stayed there all by myself. I got a job. I looked for places to stay. Then from Mumbai, I my job transferred me. I mean, I requested a transfer to Pune. So it was always in me. Like I was that kind of a person who just doesn't want to stay in one place,
okay.
but not even jump around,
Yeah,
but kind of like experience life.
yeah,
So for me, that's where like this whole food and travel, trying out, there is so much in this world, like so much. And I feel like I have such a I probably on an average I have like what, looking at the current scenarios of this world, on an average I think 60-70 years, usme se one fourth is to gone. And I'm just like, I have such a short life and I just want to live it to the fullest, whatever it is. Even till now, like even like after Cruising Cravings came into picture, the places I go to eat, the food, the places I travel, these are all experiences and these are all moments that I'm having fun.
yeah,
I treat my blog as a place where I'm having fun and I'm not feeling the commercial need to
yeah,
just
yeah. I
be.
understand.
Yeah, so I think that's what it is, like just enjoying and like time is slipping and having that whole entire experience. Like, dude, I want to go to Vietnam and like eat the most weirdest food. Like, I want to do that.
But
And
can you do that? Are you open to eating things that you don't even know?
but I think it always starts from it starts when until you don't try, right? Like you
Yeah.
as a kid wouldn't know what how chicken would taste. There are people who don't know how weird, like I used to not even have seafood. Now everywhere I go, I want prawns on my table. I
Hmm.
always look for it. So I think it just comes, and I feel like, yeah, what will happen zyada se zyada you won't like it. That's
Yeah.
it. You might just be like, oh, it's so bad. But then what if you like it? Or chalo, you won't like it also, but you'll be like, dude, I did that.
Yeah.
Been there, done that, you know? So yeah.
So, what's your favorite place you want to travel? Like, you must have some dream destinations you want to go when this stuff gets cleared.
Well, I was planning to travel to Georgia in December, but that didn't happen because of some reasons. But I have been, I don't really have a particular place in mind, but I do know the kind of things I want to experience, and and I want to get those experiences. Like I want to walk the streets of London
Hmm.
and just eat. I want to rent a car and drive on the streets of US. I want to explore the different states in US in a caravan. I want to go to Georgia, or I want to sit in Switzerland and like just have, or just look at the mountains. So I think I have these experiences everywhere. So yeah, I think I want to like do all of those. And I feel like restricting myself to one country is very difficult, especially because I have that bug in me, which is like, oh my god, when am I going to start traveling? When am I going to get the time? When am I going to get the money to? So yeah, I
Yeah, to
think
travel. What's your
yeah.
favorite cuisine, by the way? You told me you have tried so many things. What's your favorite cuisine?
Yeah, oh, uh, I love Indian food. That's just true to the roots because
Yeah, man.
I'm from Hyderabad and I am a sucker for spicy food. So I love Indian food, and I do like to try Thai, and I like to try even like Japanese cuisine. I really like them, but I think, when I think of Indian food and when I think of dal chawal and all that, I'm just like, that is food for soul.
I just
So
had dal
yeah,
chawal, by the way. I just had it right now.
really, my
Yeah, yeah.
mom is making bhindi now, so I'm like, yeah.
All-time favorite. Indian food can be eaten anytime, anywhere.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, I love Indian food.
Okay, so one thing I've always seen is that you always travel around and you're working as well at the same time. So how do you balance that? Because that's very tough.
It is. I get that question a lot, in fact, from people who even know me personally, and but I feel like, yes, it is a little difficult to manage both, but what I'm working for and what my blog is also pretty much is the same, or maybe has the same vision, because I work in the social media department, and I handle clients. So I'm on Instagram the entire time, except the difference is that during 9 to 6 I'm not on my Instagram, and then like 6 to the time I sleep, I'm on my page. So I feel like I'm always glued to that whole social media thing. It gets a little difficult to manage, but I think I'm enjoying it. So yeah, I pretty much strike a balance. So it's like 9 to 6, I work, I find time in between. I kind of like try to check my comments, and I try to schedule my post a day before, maybe like, okay, this is what I want to like, make. I mean, this is what I want to upload, and this is what I want to put tomorrow. And then I kind of like plan it that way, because I feel like, even like ever since I started work, like I started work, and I also started managing my blog on the side, like taking that very seriously. I feel like I have started valuing time a lot more. Like, I get so annoyed sometimes when my sister is just sitting and scrolling on TikTok. You know how these teenagers are. They're just like
Yeah.
watching videos after the video, one after the other. And I'm like, why are you wasting your time? What are you getting out of it? And I feel like that's how I balance it, probably, because since I started valuing time, I'm like, okay, you know what, even if I'm scrolling, I'm looking out for places, I'm looking out for activities, I'm looking out for things. So that way my mind is always in one zone.
Correct.
And yeah, that just happens. I think just being very organized is the key, to be honest.
But yeah, you're speaking about a sister going through TikTok. I think she hasn't found a passion yet. I think once she finds that, I think it changes completely because you yourself said that when you started your passion or the things you want to do, and then you know कि मुझे ये करना है. You know I want to do this. And
Exactly. So that's what, like, so there is no like plan B for me in terms of
yeah,
like my blog is a part of me. So if you are just sitting at home, you're watching Netflix, you're watching TV, you're watching football, or you're doing things you love, right? So
yeah.
I love my blog, and I love looking at it. I love planning, like, what's trending, what's not. I want to grow it more. I want to see what's working. And that way, I think I'm like getting a lot of knowledge as well in my free time.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
then when I'm working, I'm getting a lot of professional knowledge where I'm learning how to schedule posts in advance. I'm learning how to caption things. I'm learning how to uh, post on time and everything. So it's striking a balance, and I'm bringing them both. So yeah, it's that way. And I feel like um once you know what you really want to do, and I honestly, I don't even know what I want to do, but what I know what I vision. Like
Correct.
I'm just like, okay, right now I don't know what I'm gonna be doing 5 years from now, but I do know with what I have in my hand, what's the goal I have for my blog, for my career. And and at some point they are going to align, you
Correct. It
know.
does. In the end, it does.
Yeah, in the end, I think when we all reach that stage in our life, we all end up aligning our passion and our career, because we know that's how life is.
Life is a very it's very what do you say? It's very unpredictable. You never know what's gonna happen. You just keep doing your work.
Exactly.
And I want to ask you, like you have done a lot of things in your in your journey. What is the one thing you have done when you went like, oh man, I didn't even imagine this would happen?
In my blogging journey, a
Yeah, I
lot
mean,
of
see,
things.
in your journey, what things that have happened, you went like, अरे यार मैं तो सोचा ही नहीं था. Like I didn't even think about this, and it's happened.
A, a lot of things, a lot of things. You know, I'm honestly so grateful for every little thing that happens or has happened, because I'm the kind of person, you know, who actually reflects a lot on the past in a good way, in a healthy way, where I'm like, you know, where was I 1 year ago? Where am I now? And I have this thing in my calendar every, I think it was very randomly that I set a date. I think it was 21st of December or 16th of December. I can't remember. But since 3 years, I get a reminder, where am I today? And I actually write it down, you know, and then to reflect back on what I was or what I had been in the past. um, it really changes your vision, and it really makes you grateful for things. And
Correct.
in this entire journey, from actual materialistic thing to the personality that I have become, I think uh, i I have learned a lot. And some of the most extremely great things that I didn't imagine. Like last year, for example, very small, maybe for people who are watching, but it meant so much to me. Last year on Valentine's Day, I remember I was just chilling with my friends, and I got a donut from Dunkin' Donuts, and I got a rose, and I gave it to my friends, and I was like, I went to their house, and I was like, oh, I got this for you guys, like it's Valentine's Day, and I posted a picture with it as well. But this Valentine's Day, I had like PR packages pouring in, and I wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm getting PR packages because I have the following and you know all that. But for me, that was such a moment of realization of what I was doing last year and where I am right now. You know,
Yeah.
that's one little example. Even with something like, I was at Expo just the day
Correct.
before, and I got to like hang around in the same zone with A.R. Rahman, so, and with Javed Jafri and Shekhar Kapoor. So all these things I had not imagined, and even working with brands, like some huge brands that I was like, okay, wow, I never would have thought. I love Tim Hortons, and I have been having Tim Hortons since 7 years of my life. And I've only had their one drink, French vanilla. I would always just go have French vanilla. I think in a week, I would at least have it like 3 times, 3 or 4 times every
Wow.
single day. Till now, because French vanilla is right under my office, I still do. I had one today as well. So randomly out of the blue, Tim Hortons actually reached out to me, and you know, they collaborated with me. They sent me a whole PR kit of French vanilla. And I was like, wow. I mean, I wouldn't have even imagined that this was possible. A girl who, and even in my, like, when I was working in my previous office, like 4 years ago, there was Tim Hortons under my building. And the guy who used to, like, the cashier, or the one who was behind the Tim Hortons thing. He actually wrote me a message one day to the French vanilla girl, and they named me that, and they would always
Oh,
call me the French vanilla girl, the FV girl. Like on the cup, you write French vanilla or iced
yeah,
cap, right?
yeah.
And like for the French vanilla girl and like FV girl. So I was known for that. So these are like these little small things that really make me feel like, okay, I never thought all of this would be possible. And the fact that, uh, I mean, there is something called the power of blogging and the power of influencing and stuff. There have been so many times where I'm like, okay, I really want to do this activity, and I would actually reach out to them, like, do you think I can collaborate with you? And that would actually be possible and would actually work out. And even in instances where my friends are in town and they're like, Conan, we want to do this, we want to do that. Recently my friend proposed to his girlfriend on hot air balloon because he went through me to book that particular activity, because
Yeah.
the agency handling that had collaborated with me. So all of these things where I'm not only benefiting from my own perspective, but I'm helping out so many people, I'm helping out so many friends. There are agencies calling me and they're like, oh, there's this person who booked so and so activity with your code and this that, and I don't even know about it. So these
Yeah, yeah.
small things that really make me feel like, okay, so much has happened. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I saw your story with the Tours thing, yeah, where you put your code cruising cravings and you get discount.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, I'm planning to use that. I'm actually planning to use that for
Really?
the, yeah, yeah. I want to go for the Warner Brothers. I will use that definitely. You get some
Great.
discounts. So yeah, you get some discount. You see, we are Indians, yeah. Whenever there's an opportunity, we take an advantage of it. Simple.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what has been happening. I've been doing a lot of these, just helping my friends out, helping my friends, my cousins, in-laws, like some 15, 16 people, they wanted to go to Desert Safari. So being that go-to person for them,
Yeah.
and actually monetizing from my blog, which is the biggest thing that I never even imagined. I didn't think of starting this blog as a mode of uh monetizing, to be very honest. But even that's happening. So yeah, lots and lots of things. And as a person as well, I have really changed a lot, and for good, I feel. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a a pretty good answer you have given me because I think when you go through journeys in your life, you never expect at where you're going to reach. You just keep doing your hard work every single day,
Exactly.
and you'll see the result later. And you said something about competition. Do you think about competition, or you just focus on yourself?
So there are times when I do get a bit affected. I'm not gonna lie, okay, because there are so many content creators, there are so many people who are way amazing, they're doing great for themselves. So there are times, very maybe like once in 10 days, for example, that I would feel like, oh, you know what, like, look at this person doing this, look at this person doing that. But when that happens with me, that is when I'm like, okay, Conan, you're not like this normally. You have been only doing, like, you've been focusing on yourself. But if this thought has occurred to you, then it's time to buckle up, or it's time to get up and get your shit together. You know, otherwise I feel like all I feel like I focus on myself, very honestly, because I'm like, okay, someone's on their own journey, some one person is on their own journey, this person is doing this person is doing that. There are times where I know that I'm working full time and I'm handling my blog, and my blog is still growing in a good pace. So I'm like, okay, it's good. There are people who are doing this as a full time thing. So I really cannot compare myself with anybody, because Everyone has their own journey. There are people who I know have uh, reached a very good who have become viral maybe after 3 years of blogging, and I've
Correct.
seen that. There are people who've been doing this since 5 years and now they're out there. There are people who started like 3 months ago and they are like, you know, doing so much, so amazing for themselves. So I just feel like this is one industry where you just cannot compare. You cannot compare. And if you ever start doing that, you're bringing in trouble for yourself. Because social media, as much as it's amazing and it's great, it will suck the life out of you, and it will drain you, it will exhaust you, and it can get a little toxic. But honestly, all that depends on you, and if you let that happen. So I try that. Like, I'm like, okay, everyone is on their own journey. Whoever needs to work with whichever brand they're working. And the field that I work in, even in my full-time job, I have seen how we approach influencers. I have seen how we kind of, compare which one to work with, which one to not, like which one should be preferred over the other. And that's when I realized that like everyone is so good with their own stuff that you don't need to worry about clients thinking like, oh, Conan is better than this one, or maybe that person is better than Conan, because there is
Correct.
always something that Conan is doing that other person is not doing, and other person is doing that I'm not doing.
Yeah.
And in this whole thing, like in this whole blogging industry, what makes you really stand out is you, like what you're creating. Even if it's the same, do you think that if I go to a place tomorrow, there won't be 10 other people doing the same thing or would have already done it? They
Yes.
have, but it's the way I sell it, it's the way the other person sells it. And equally, everyone's reels and posts perform well, equally they get the crazy good amount of engagement. So yeah, I just feel like you need to just focus on yourself, your own journey. Stop comparing yourself with others, because that will only stop you from growing, because you're just going to sit and focus on what the other person is doing, where the other person is going, what trending things are they doing, what are they collaborating with, and you're just going to stop putting that same effort on you.
That's true. That's
So
actually very true.
yeah, I that's when it is. But yeah, at the same time, you shouldn't get too comfortable with your own self that, you know what, I don't even care about what others are doing. I'm just gonna be on my own thing. Like, you need to keep up with the market. You need to keep up with the trends and the places and everything. But get yourself in that zone where the competition is healthy for you, and
Correct.
it makes you buckle up and be like, okay, you know what, let's try this out. Okay, there's this open, that open, let's try it out. And yeah.
You spoke about
So
social media being a toxic world, and we all know that there are some people like there will be negative comments and stuff. Have you ever dealt with that? Have you ever dealt with some negativity, like harassment? I'm talking about, not negativity. Like someone will not
mhm.
like your post, and it's fine. No, someone likes it or not, but there's
Yeah,
someone
of
like
course.
berating on your post and on your page.
I feel like I haven't really faced that
Hmm.
yet. I have received comments where people are like, "Oh, at least you need to do this." Where people have told me that you
Correct.
should do it this way or you should do it that way. Maybe in not in the most polite manner, or maybe in the
Okay.
manner which would make you think like, um, but this is how I create, or this is how I
Hmm.
do. But I feel like it's very important to take that feedback and work on it instead. Of course, if someone's bullying you, then just like there's no time for that. Like, just ignore it. But I have never faced, so far, touch wood, I've never faced any harassment. Yes, I have received a couple of comments here and there where they're like, "Oh, you should do it this way or you should do it that way. It will be helpful." And yeah, I've taken that into consideration.
Like
But
no,
I,
and one more. Like
yeah, no, no, please go on.
no, I'm just saying that when you are starting this journey and when you are working with influencers, What is that one quality you see in a person when you where you make it makes you think like, okay, this person can actually do something. What is the one quality that you see in a person that makes you go like, oh man, he can do something or she can achieve something? Because you normally meet so many people, and
Yeah.
24/7 you're meeting content creators and stuff. So how do you decide if you want to collaborate with this person or with that person? What do you see in that one quality in that person?
One thing, very plain and simple: authenticity. Are you promoting the product? Are you selling the product? Or are you really just being your authentic self? Like if I need to sell my phone, okay, and I just keep putting like, oh, this is this phone XYZ, and like, these are the features, then I know that this person is probably just selling. But I feel like when you're authentic, and when you are yourself, and your personality shines through the way you speak and the way you create your content and stuff, I think that's what really makes me feel like, okay, you know what, this person really is going to be helpful or is going to make an impact. If I know that if I have to give this person a product and they're just going to be like, okay, there's this product, there's that product, and you just need to you need to buy it, it's great and all, I know that the person is lying. They don't even believe in the product. So I'm just
Right.
like, there's no point of that. So yeah, like, authenticity is very important, I feel, whenever I look at a person, and just being who they are, like, rather than copying. And of course, the main thing, like, not judging people, or like, or content creators and all around you, because I know if you're sitting and talking to me about some 10 content creators who you don't like, probably you would be doing the same thing about me, right? Because there's always going to be something. So yeah, that's what I feel.
And actually, I want to ask you this last question. It has been great, by the way, talking to you and listening to your insights. What advice do you give for content creators, like who are starting their journey now? What advice would you give it to them?
To new content creators?
Yeah, and to new content creators and to people who are hustling every single day, like you, how you are working and following your passion. What advice would
Yeah.
you give to them?
So, to the new content creators, I would just advise something. One of Someone had told this to me as well when I started my journey. One of the content creators who's very well established now. Um, I think that you just need to be patient, like, really patience, consistency, and just be dedicated. I know these three words are very normal, very cliche, but this it really works. Like, it's not just adjectives that people tell you, because, like I mentioned in the start of the interview, that it can drain you. It can make you feel like, oh, I don't know where this is going. At some point you're like, I don't even know what is the whole point of this. But I think you just need to be really consistent. You need to be passionate about this. It can't just be something that you're like, oh, I want to do it because 10 other people I know are doing it. You
Correct.
really need to know why you're doing this. Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to be one of the third person out of five in Dubai who's now into blogging? Because, to be very honest, every third person out of five people in Dubai are like, we're bloggers, or we are going to become. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but
I think
I think when people say that they're going to become bloggers, I think it's just because it's trending. They don't really
it's
give
trending.
time to it.
Exactly. So that's what I mean. Like, don't just become bloggers because you think it's like the new marketing tool or the
Correct.
new digital marketing thing. Become because you want to have fun with your page. You want to be yourself. You want to be your authentic self, because eventually brands or anyone can see through it. Anyone can see through whether you are doing this out of passion, or you're doing this because everyone else is doing this, and you think that this could be like a mode of income or something. So yeah, just follow follow your passion and like just be very consistent, and just don't give up, because you will feel like, I'm not lying, you will feel like on some days that, okay, I don't want to do this or something. I have not felt that I don't want to do this, but I just get a bit taken back, like, okay, you know what, maybe if I don't post today, it's fine. But I have lately learned this, and I would advise everyone to just be disciplined with yourself and your blog, because treat it like, I mean, respect it, because there are people watching, there are people actually getting inspired, and you never know whom you are inspiring. I don't know, but I hear here and there. You just told me that, okay, you were planning to book for Warner Bros and stuff,
Correct.
right? Imagine tomorrow I stop blogging, and then, I would lose you, I would lose your trust in what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and to existing content creators out there, I feel like we're all here to do our own thing, and we're all here to be the hero of our own world and our own blogs. So there isn't, I mean, there are two ways in which you can climb the ladder. Climb one way where you are taking your own journey, doing your own thing, shining your own way. People are loving you, people are showering their love and support and everything. And then there's another way to climb by stepping on others. So don't opt for that. Just be on your own journey, let the others do their own journey. And yeah, I mean, you never know whom you end up meeting where and when. Just enjoy it. And yeah, I think that's what it is.
That's what it is, and that's the end of this interview. I have to say, I really enjoy talking to you,
Thank
Conan.
you.
You have been really like informative as to how your journey started and what you want to do, like what you're doing now. And the way you speak about food and travel is something that I really like, because you get a sense of people who are passionate about something, and I feel that's in you. I don't think you're fake or anything. I really think that you're going to do something in this world. I hope you do. I really do.
Well, I will.
Yeah.
I will. I have. I want to do like my someone told me, less talking, more doing. So I'm gonna be doing, and everyone's gonna watch me do it.
That's the self
Yeah.
confidence I really like in a person. And thank you so much for joining in. It's been great hearing
Thank
talking to
you
you.
so much for having me. It's been lovely, and honestly, like to share this entire thing with someone and then put it out there. You're doing great as well. So it's really an honor for you to consider me. I don't know if you'll put this or not, but this is just for you. That thank you so much, because it's really important to bring out the content creators out there and make them share the journey, because they are, if they are influencers, they're not just influencing to buy stuff or go places, but they are influencing in many ways, because what you see on Instagram is not everything. There's so much that goes behind. It's not followers overnight. It's not always about free food or places, or you know there's so much that goes on behind, and people like you bring that out. So thank you for that.
No worries about that. And people who are seeing this, please like and subscribe to the Kunal Call. Please follow Conan's page. It's Cruising Cravings on Instagram. The link will be in the description. Thank you everyone for watching. Take care and peace.
You
Thank you again.
take care. Bye.